Few players come back full strength from injury, but almost none come back from disease.
Taylor about the fucking flex.
James Eric Berry was born on December 29th, 1988. He was born to play football, as early on he was a standout athlete. This led him to attending Creekside High School, where he was instantly a track and football star. He had a great career at Creekside High School, leading them to a 37-5 record as a starter. In high school, he played on both sides of the ball, like most athletes do. He played quarterback and cornerback, and fun fact, was bitter rivals with Cam Newton. During high school, Berry was ranked number 4 overall in his class, and number 1 for his position. He was recruited by all the top programs in the nation, eventually choosing to attend the University of Tennessee. At Tennessee, Berry played immediately, replacing 5th-year senior Gerard Parrish. Right away, Berry made a huge impact, winning SEC Defensive Freshman of the Year. He had 5 interceptions for 222 yards, which broke a Tennessee record, and he also had 86 tackles, which led all freshmen. He responded to the season with an even better sophomore year. He had 7 interceptions and broke his own record, returning them for 265 yards and 2 touchdowns. At the end of the year, Berry was named SEC Defensive Player of the Year, First Team All-SEC, and First Team All-American. Following his sophomore year, the hype was real. He responded with another great season, winning First Team All-SEC and First Team All-American for consecutive years. He also took home the Jim Thorpe Award for college football's best defensive back. After this, he forewent his last year of eligibility at Tennessee and entered the 2010 draft. At the draft combine, Berry quickly turned heads. He headed into the draft as one of the highest scouted safeties since Sean Taylor. This led him to being selected 5th overall by the Kansas City Chiefs. You can say Eric Berry changes the culture wherever he goes. It is undeniable that he makes a gigantic impact wherever he is on the field. In 2009, the Kansas City Chiefs went 4-12, but during Berry's rookie 2010 season, they went 10-6 and made it to the playoffs. Eric Berry led the team in interceptions with 4 and had 92 total tackles during the season en route to a Pro Bowl. He also helped the Chiefs defense go from 30th ranked in the NFL to 14th. In his second season, Berry looked to build on what was an outstanding rookie year. In the home opener against the Bills, Berry went down with a torn ACL in his left knee. Berry was out for the season, and this was the first major roadblock of his career. He soon had surgery, and about 9 months later, he was in training camp. Many people were unsure if he could return to his rookie season form, but he proved them wrong by returning to the Pro Bowl on a 73 tackle season. And the next year was even better. He had 66 tackles, 3.5 sacks, and 3 interceptions, where 2 he returned for touchdowns. He had returned for dominance, and then some, but his greatest roadblock was yet to come. The Chiefs were hyped up for the 2014 season, being led by a tough defense. But their defense didn't start off as planned, losing the first game to the Tennessee Titans 26-10. Then in week 2 it got even worse, as Berry suffered a high ankle sprain that would leave him on the sidelines until week 9. When he came back, Berry didn't look like himself, but it was to be expected as he was easing his way back into play. That was until the Chiefs lost to the Raiders on Thursday, November 20th, 2014. In that game, Berry reportedly had been feeling chest pains, and he immediately told the team's physicians. Initially, the x-ray came back as negative, but subsequent testing discovered a mass in his chest. They had feared it was lymphoma. Berry soon went to see a specialist, and it was there where he was diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma. Hodgkin lymphoma is a type of cancer that starts in cells called lymphocytes. Hodgkin's disease is considered one of the most curable forms of cancer when found in the early stages, but it can still prove deadly. Many people wondered if Berry would ever return to a football field, but Berry has proven to be one of the most persistent and toughest players in NFL history. Berry began chemotherapy treatments in Atlanta alongside his family, with all of the NFL's support behind him. The Chiefs' season ended short on December 28th that year, and Berry was wondering if this was the last season he'd ever play. Berry completed his treatment in about mid-May and was awaiting on test results. His doctor came to him with the best news possible. Berry was now cancer-free and had kicked cancer in the behind. In 7 months, he beat cancer. He had beaten cancer faster than he had came back from his torn ACL. Berry was now cancer-free and was antsy to get back doing what he loved, which included returning to the football field. You might think that this chemotherapy had made Berry weak and brittle, but Barry had opted for receiving treatment through an IV, which allowed him to continue working out, and in the end of this chemotherapy, Barry weighed a pound heavier. About a month after receiving this news, Barry was cleared for practice. At this point, it doesn't even matter how he performed. It was a miracle for him to be back in a uniform, practicing 8 months after being diagnosed with cancer. Barry's story only gets even more amazing from here on. He had a phenomenal return season, being selected to another Pro Bowl and rightfully winning Comeback Player of the Year. Then in the next season, you guessed it, he was named to another Pro Bowl and to another First Team All-Pro. Recently, on February 28, 2017, Barry signed a 6-year, $78 million deal, making him the highest paid safety in the NFL. Barry's story is not done here. It is still being written. He is heading into his 8th season with the Chiefs, and they expect it to be pretty good. I hope nothing but the best for him, as he is one of the best safeties in the NFL, and he's a fan favorite. How could you cheer against him? This man has been through it all, and his story shows that anything can happen to anyone at any time. So be grateful for the things that you have and the loved ones around you, for they might not always be there. That's gonna be it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. This is one of the greatest stories in sports history, and it's so heartwarming. I just had to share it with all you guys. So if you did enjoy, like and subscribe, and as always, I'll catch you guys next time.